Hi there, my name's Simon and welcome to another episode of the Maserati Guy. Today we're with the SL500 again, and in this episode we're going to fix, hopefully, the lumbar supports and the various other features on this multi-contour seat. We have the control for lumbar support in and out, up and down, shoulder support here, and then you have the side bolster control here, and a pulse massage which kind of moves the lumbar support up and down. Now, I've done a bit of research on this, and it's quite a common problem with these cars. There is a hydraulic line that runs from a reservoir in the boot under the seat here, and the constant moving backwards and forwards of the seat causes that pressure tube to rupture and split, and that stops the lumbar support mechanism working. What actually happens is that when the air reservoir notices or realizes that the air is constantly leaking from that particular outlet, it will shut it down, and that means that the air supply will be cut off to the seats. So what we need to do is we need to disconnect some connectors under here, then we need to remove the bolts, take the seat out, fix the airline, and then replace the seat. There are 3 bolts to remove at the rear of the seat, pictured here, and 2 at the front. So to remove the seat, we actually need one of these E-Torx sockets. I think it is a 12mm E-Torx socket, which is like an external Torx. So we'll just remove those 3 screws at the back. Got those 3 bolts out now, and then we'll move the seat all the way back and then take the 2 front bolts out. This one's even worse. Just have to do it very gradually. This yellow plug I couldn't actually get out without undoing it because I couldn't see how it opened, so I'm going to show you how that opens so that you'll be able to do it easier than when I did it. I'll do a close-up when I've taken it off, and you'll see here that I actually had to cut that tube because I couldn't get it off. So we just splice it there as well, and then that means we can just splice it here and splice it where the leak is. But if you don't know what you're looking for, it's an absolute bugger. So you can see here, that's the thing you have to push in right there with your thumbnail. But when it's turned the other way and you can't see what you're doing, it's almost impossible. The next thing you have to do is that there is a connector under here. Again, I'll show you this when we get it off. But this one, you actually have to slide it to this way, slide it away from the door, and then it will pull out. Now, once you pull that out, you're going to get an SRS warning. Once you pull that connector out, it disconnects the seatbelt warning, or the seatbelt connector, so that means that you end up getting an SRS warning, which you'll just have to take to a garage to get that reset, because you can't actually do it yourself, as far as I'm aware. There is a screw here. I don't know if you can see, it's just impossible to see. I'll show you when I've taken it off, which holds the cable harness in place under the seat, and that has to be unscrewed so that the cable harness will detach from the bottom of the seat. So at this point, the seat is actually detached now from the car. We've taken all the connectors off. You'll see if I can rock the seat backwards and forwards. That's just sliding around. So now there's a bit of heavy work required just to lift it out. And what you need to do is to get a cloth that you can put over the sill area here, so that as you lift the seat out, it doesn't damage any of the bodywork or the trim panels. Yeah, it's heavy, but it's done. The view of the harness here, the cable harness, which is the one that we need to patch. And there's a whole load of there as well, so I'll get the vacuum cleaner and suck that all out. So this now gives a good view of the harness that goes under the seat. You're likely to see the break in the pipe on this area here where it's most kinked. So what we need to do is we need to strip off this outside casing here, see where the break is, and then we'll repair it with a piece of vinyl tubing. This again shows you I'll just show you this clip here. You put the plug in and then slide this and it clips it in place. That's confusing if you've not seen one of those plugs before, which I hadn't. This hole here is where you mount this whole assembly, fits in underneath the seat. So you have to put, with the seat not screwed down, you then have to insert this back in under the seat and then replace that goes over a protruding bolt, little screw on the end just to keep it in place. That shows the yellow plug that I was talking about, which is a bugger to get off if you don't know what it looks like. And that's where I've had to just cut that pipe to remove it because it was impossible to take off. And there's the brake. Yeah, we found it. Finally found it. So there's the brake. We'll just need to go into here a little bit further to find the other end. Yeah, there it is. And there's where the pipe is broken. Don't know if you can see that, but that's the pipe, that's the break in the pipe. So what we're going to do now is basically, I'm not even going to bother doing much with this. I'm going to take a chunk out of here. And then the next step, just take that end off because that's a bit ratty as well. The next step is to get some vinyl tubing. This is 3mm, I think that's inside diameter, which is just about perfect to go over the external diameter of the existing pipe. So we basically just take a length like this. Just take a length like that, and then we'll use that to splice these two together. So this is just a flexible adhesive to stop it cracking if it moves. You just push the tube on like that. Pretty much all you need to do. I'm going to try and find I'm going to put some cable ties just around here just to make it look a bit neater. And that should do it. Cable tied all in, and we can reassemble. First thing we're going to do is we're going to replace this cover. So there's some tabs that need to go in first. That's that one under there, and that one there, and that one there. Yeah, it's a bit of a to get in. This gets mounted back under the seat. This gets plugged back in. The screw goes in there to hold that in the bottom of the seat, and we'll just fix that. I'll put another splice in here with some vinyl tubing, and then we should be good to go. So while we've got the seat out, I thought I'd show you what it looks like underneath. So here's the top of the screw where the cable harness slides into that slot there. And then here is where the big black plug goes. And then we have the two connectors that we disconnected earlier. This was my earlier attempt at a repair. So now we can put the seat back in and connect it all up again. Yes. Right, I've got it in. This is the tricky one where you have to push it in and then slide it down. That's it. Finally plug this last clip in here. That's it. And that should be pretty much it. Back it roughly in the right place. Okay. So the last thing we have to do is to just reset the ECU that deals with the control unit that deals with the seats. So we'll pull the fuse, which is number, I think it's 21. So the fuse is this one here that I'm just tapping with the torch. It's a 20 amp fuse in that black section. If I can get this torch to stay roughly there. We'll pull that fuse out. Give it 10 seconds to lose its memory. Okay, pop it back in. Okay. So now we'll just demonstrate and we'll turn on the ignition. So I don't know if you can see this, but if we inflate the lumbar support at the bottom here, you can see that bulging out. I hope you can anyway. And then back in, and then there's the shoulder ones at the top here. Difficult to see, but you can see that moving in and out. And then we have the side bolsters which move in and out like that, and out again. I think you can just see that moving. Well, that's the seat installed again. All the bolsters are working, all the lumbar support mechanism is working. It's a bit of a fiddly job, it's a bit awkward, it's bloody heavy to get in and out, and it's easy to kind of just scuff the leather. I did it in a couple of little places, but it's fairly minor. So look, I hope you found this useful to see how that repair is carried out. I actually spent quite a lot of time fiddling around before recording this to actually work out how to do it, because just reading it in instructions, it never works as easily as you expect it to. But if you found this video useful, I hope you have. Don't forget to give the like a click. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any more Maserati Guy videos. You can follow me on Instagram at Maserati Guy 2017, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.